Hello Strikers, as the year wraps up, we say hello and goodbye to many things.
This year, we say goodbye to our beloved grads who are leaving McRoberts to achieve and pursue greater things in life. Today, we've had the opportunity to interview some of the grade 12 teachers to hear what they want to say to their grads one last time.
Good morning. How was your day?
Day is doing well. How's it your day?
Good. And what's your name?
My name is Mr. Anko Escarza.
Thank you. And is it difficult to say goodbye to the grade 12s? And what makes it so special?
Well, I've been working with this school for the last 7 years now, and I've seen many kids leaving the school, and it's very emotional sometimes, which is fantastic. I love me emotions. Those who have been with me, you know that I'm Hispanic, and we always perspire emotions all the time. So going back to the questions, yes, it's very emotional because we spent several years with the students at the school, right? They come here naive and very innocent, and we have to treat them as individuals, right? And then when they do great things, that becomes pride also, and we understand also the struggles that they have to go through. It's a shared journey between the teachers and the students and their families as well, right? We reflect not only on their academic achievements, but they're also how they grow from being a grade 8 now when you see them living as an adult. It's always sad because there's a sense of melancholy that you have when you start thinking it's like how I was in grade 8 or how I saw this student when he was a grade 8, and now you see them growing up and you see now that their potential are developing, and that's fantastic. And that is also part, or most of the part also with the collaboration between the families, the students and the teachers. We love to celebrate their successes. We also reminisce, and we are always hopeful that they have great futures all the time. And those connections that we create with the students, I want them to understand that it's not only for the school. They can always come back. You as a person can always come back, visit us, give us a hello, send us an email, send us a message when maybe there's something that you need some support or some advice, some celebrations that are happening in your life. We appreciate those moments because make us keep connected. We are a community. We are so happy that in this part of the world we can create those communities, and particularly myself, I love when a student after finishing their graduate studies post-secondary, they email me and it's like, oh, I culminate this one, I'm doing this, or I'm going somewhere, I'm traveling. So those are fantastic moments, and that's what I appreciate thinking about this group of kiddos that are living now and transitioning into adulthood.
Thank you. And what is something you wish you knew as a graduate but didn't learn until later in life?
There are a lot of things that I could say. I didn't think about getting into education until I was in a good emotional, personable state in mind. So what I can think right now is like a few things. Resilience and embracing your failures sometimes is that make us very strong. So my advice for all the 12s that are leaving is like keep pushing all the time, right? If you fall once, that's okay. Twice is okay. Thrice is okay. You can always stand up, never give up. And it's not only coming from me. You see it from your sports, you see from musicians, you see from artists, everywhere. Like we always fall. Teachers, we always fall. We commit sometimes mistakes in the classroom too, but then the next day we come back smiling, and then it's like, oh, I made a mistake. It was a boo-boo, as I usually tell in my classroom. And those are things that we can fix. Everything is fixable, right? The other thing is about empathy and understanding. So important right now, especially in the world that we're living, in the world that you, the 12s, are going to experience. Always think and put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Think what those people are going through, that you can provide them some sense of like cohesiveness and familiarity and community, right? You want to be part of them, they want to be part of you, so understand them as well. Learning is something that I hope you understand that doesn't end when you get that paper that says, I graduated high school. You are going to keep learning, encourage that to yourself, encourage that to the future children that you're going to have in hopefully few more years ahead, right? And always that I tell to my kiddos is like, use the ASK, always seek knowledge, because there's always something that you would like to learn. Embrace those passions that you have to the deepest understanding, so you can feel confident, you can feel comfortable, you can communicate in good ways and make people understand why you're passionate about that. And the last thing is about having balance and self-care, right? For those who are deciding to go to post-secondary institutions, it's going to be challenging, but you have to have a balance. We've told you that all these 5 years that you've been with us in high school, now in post-secondary, there's not going to be that many teachers that are going to remind you every single day. Have a balance, go to bed at 10, sleep those 8 hours that you need. You have to start working on that too. And if you've been very proactive during this 5 years that you've been with us, that is going to come natural. But if you're not there, that's okay as well. But understand that there has to be a point when you start understanding this is important. I need to take care of myself, not only physically, but also emotionally. Because if we are not in that balance, things are not going to go the way that we expected, right? So those are the few things that I could have known better when I was younger.
Okay, thank you. And finally, is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary in life?
Oh, I made a list of a few advices, all right? And it might take a little bit of time, and maybe you guys have to do some closed captionings for each one of them, which would be super cool. Number one is this, he said this, so it doesn't get lost in the message. So I just listed a few. So number one, it connects with the previous question, which is stay organized and manage your time effectively, right? The moment that you know what is happening in your life and how the time is being useful, that's important. Everybody in this planet has something that is called time, but you need to understand that time does not come back. So the moment that you start understanding this is my time, it belongs to me and I can use it properly, that will be fantastic, because then you are not stressed, you're not struggling. The other thing is, like I mentioned before, also seek that balance emotionally and physically, right? You need to be in both realms all the time if you want to be academically successful. Take initiative, go around, look, visit the world, ask questions, meet new people. Don't be afraid to stay in your shell. The worst case scenario is that people are going to tell you no, but you got an answer. That's the most important thing, and that's what we love in socials, when the kids start understanding, I can ask a question. What's the worst case thing that's going to happen? Someone's going to tell me no. Is the world ending? Absolutely not. It continues. So take that initiative. Build relationships. So important, right? Healthy connections makes you feel that you belong. And all of us want to belong somewhere. So make those connections, talk to new people, understand each other. Goes back to that was when you asked me the first question, right? So the other one is like embrace failure, right? All of us make mistakes, and that's okay, but we need to learn from those mistakes. Look at what happened in history in the past, how we can overcome of those mistakes. Very important to understand. It's like, it's a mistake, it's a boo-boo. Can we fix it? Absolutely. But we need to also analyze it, like what went wrong here? How can I make it better for the future, right? These I learned from my former principal at Richmond High School. Expand your horizons, expand your circles. You're going to have your tight community, which is fantastic. Those are the people that you love. Those are the people that you feel you belong. That's great. However, there is more people in this world. Expand. Try to get different perspectives, right? Try to understand each other. That's how you will also build empathy and understand, and you will feel like, hey, I can put my shoes in that person, I can understand, I am not going to be judgmental, I'm not going to be biased if I understand other people. Plan for the future, very important. You're starting your post-secondary, fantastic. Don't get stressed, just plan for the future. Tackle a few ideas there. This is going to be when I'm 25, 30, boom. If you don't achieve it, that's okay, but at least you have a little plan all the time, right? Many as you go into post-secondary, you're going to understand like, stay in the present, live the present, embrace the present. That is fantastic. Just that little aside notes, like what I want to be in the future. Like have a few notes in there to always guide you. Those are your anchor ideas. Take care of your mental health. We are so glad that we understand and we appreciate mental health, brain health in this part of the world, because the moment that you say, I need some help, that liberates you, that liberates your stress, and looking for help is never wrong. That's sometimes when we the adults try to empathize with the kids. Come and talk to an adult, right? Most of the time we try to talk to our peers. But look, if you cannot find an answer at your age, do you think that people at your age have all the answers? For emotional support, perhaps that's what you want to share. But maybe for advice, my little intake as an adult, I've always relied on the people that are a little elder than me. They have lived a little more than I, so I can understand their perspectives too, right? The next one will be to stay financially responsible. It's your money. Take care of that money. You are starting your life. You're super young and eager to earn some money. Always again connects to the previous one. Think about the future. What is it going to be when you are 60, when you are 70? Are you going to have some savings for those years, right? I know it's like, oh, Mr. Anko, it's going to take so much time. Yes, but time again, back to where we started in number one, circling everything, right? We have all time, but our time is also limited. So we need to start a little planning in here and there. So stay financially responsible. And finally, back to school. Stay curious all the time. Look for knowledge. Read everything that gets into your hand. Try to analyze it a little bit, understand, comprehend. I don't understand this one. I'm going to look for it. So I at least do my little part into being more knowledgeable. And if you're going to be a parent, and if you're going to be an uncle, if you're going to be a grandfather, then people can come to you, can ask you questions. Back to creating that community. It's like demonstrated them like, hey, knowledge never ever stops. So that would be my little advices, and hopefully you guys put a little closed caption there for each one of them. That would be fantastic.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. Take care.
Hello there, I'm Alia and I'm here with...
Mr. Baines.
All right, Mr. Baines, what classes do you teach this year?
I teach English, math, and I've taught this grad class CLC in Capstone.
Very nice. So, is there any advice you want to give going into their post-secondary or next chapters in life to this class of 2024?
Yeah, my advice to this class of 2024 is the same advice that my teacher mentor, Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, gave to his students as they left. That advice is to dream, to try, and to do good in the world.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hey there, what's your name and what subject do you teach?
I'm Miss Chen and I teach business ed.
Awesome. Do you have any last words to the grads?
Congratulations, grad of 2024. You did it. Don't forget to come back and visit us.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm here with
Madame Chang, or Miss Chang.
Miss Chang. What do you teach at school?
Now, I teach French immersion, so I teach Français Langue and Social Studies 10. However, right now I'm teaching BC First Peoples 12.
And how is teaching grade 8 different from teaching grade 11s and 12s?
Oh, grade 8s are very bouncy. They have lots of energy, which is great when it comes to class discussions. However, I do love the serenity that teaching grade 11s and 12s brings. Grade 11s and 12s kind of know the routine, they know how it works, so it's fun working with grade 11s and 12s. Much deeper discussions as well.
Okay. Did you know what profession had inspired you to pursue as soon as you graduated?
I did. So I decided pretty early on I wanted to be a teacher. Wanting to teach French and English came a bit later. However, I have a lot of friends who decided like 4 or 5 years after they graduated what they wanted to be. So really I would say don't worry too much about figuring everything out right away.
Did you attend this year's valedictorian?
I did.
And what will you miss about this year's grad class?
Well, this grad class is very special to me because it's the first grad class that I've actually seen from grade 8. I was a student teacher when they were grade 8, and it's just been really fun seeing them grow and go through all the high school life, and they show so much resilience through lots of crazy things like COVID and transition back. They've been through a lot, and they've kept their smiles and resilience throughout.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it. Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Madame Mainville, and I am the teacher librarian and a bunch of other stuff in the school.
Nice. And is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary in life?
Yeah, so I think that one of the things you need to remember that would be the most important piece of advice is to take risks and to try things that you're not used to trying. The best time to be doing that is when you're young. You've got time, you're not officially adulting yet, and take those opportunities, whether that's taking that gap year to go and work in a foreign country, or whether it's trying one program in another province, or to going to school outside of Vancouver. Like, take those risks, because once we start working, we tend to take sometimes fewer risks, and we kind of get settled. And I think that adventure begins as soon as you graduate and until you have to become an adult. So do it now.
Yes, thank you. And what will you miss about this year's grad class?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to miss the semester 2 block A study block students who are really rowdy in the library. And you know who you are. But no, in all seriousness, as a capstone teacher, I've seen some incredible work being done by the kids studying their passions, and I've seen some really great learning occur and got to know kids on a really personal level. And it's always nice to get to know kids when they're talking about like the stuff that they like. Versus getting to know them like when I used to teach them an academic class. So yeah, I think, all in all, this was a pretty good class, and I wish them all the best.
Thank you. And finally, what classes do you think should be required to graduate?
This is a great question. Many of you will know I'm not a huge athlete, but I am a big supporter of the arts. And I was listening to an actor from the UK that was talking the other day about how, a lot of the actors that are currently being recognized in the UK have all gone to these very expensive private schools and come from this very elite background. And the actor came from a very humble background. And he was saying, well, if that's happening, it's because, these members of the upper crust are getting exposed to fine art. They're getting exposed to art classes and music and drama and theater, and that the lower classes are just not. And that's a phenomenon in the UK, but I find that here we don't do enough to promote the importance of art with regards to building intelligence, creating very well-rounded people, helping individuals being creative is probably the most important thing we can do in education, and I think we do a poor job of that, and that we need to support the arts more. So if there was something I think people should be taking up until their grade 12 year, I would argue that you should be taking your music or your drama or your fine art up until you're in grade 12, and that you should be more involved in anything artistic, because that's where creativity is built, and that's what's going to save our planet is creativity.
Okay, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Hi there, I'm
is teaching grade 8 different from teaching the grade 11s and 12s?
Well, I'm lucky this year because I have both grade 8s, 11 and 12s, and I've noticed such a change in between grade 8s to grade 12. I've given the same assessment in grade 8 and 12, and I want to say the language has really changed, has really developed, and it's really amazing to see the improvement, the great improvement from grade 8 to grade 12. So it works.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. It is great to see like the difference of level that
Yes.
has changed too. And what is a highlight from teaching senior grades?
Well, it's amazing. It's really easy, and we have such an amazing group this year. It's like having a great conversation with intelligent people, talking about literature, and it's been fun. It's been an amazing year with the grade 12s.
That's amazing. Thank you for interviewing me, guys.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Mr. McBurney.
And what do you teach?
I teach English, PE, and career education.
Thank you. And is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary in life?
Post-secondary life. My advice to grads as they finish high school would be, many of you aren't going to end up doing the things you thought you were going to do. People leave high school, have big ideas, and the reality is the average person changes their career 3 to 5 times. And a lot of people get into university or post-secondary or start working and they realize that what they thought they wanted to do isn't what they're going to do. That doesn't make them a failure. I think some people have time coming to grip with those changes, but the reality is in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I think our grads are going to be very successful and they're going to be where they should be at that point in their lives. And just because things don't go the way they think it's going to go, it's not a bad thing.
Thank you. What will you miss about this year's grad class?
A lot of solid sports fans in this year's grad class. Really enjoyed talking sports with them over the years. A lot of energetic, positive people that, you know, I got to watch them grow up from the grade 8 to grade 12. And I remember a lot of these grads when they were in grade 8 and they were so enthusiastic. And a lot of students lose that enthusiasm over the course of their high school lives. But so many of our grads have maintained that and brought a lot of energy. I remember at the beginning of this year, I was talking to all our grade 8 mentors. A bunch of our grads were in that group, and I was telling them, you know, looking at the list of people, really a great group of people. And just overall, grad class, great group of people.
Nice. Finally, what is a highlight from teaching senior grades?
I think going back to teaching grade 8s, I teach a lot of grade 8s, and getting to see them when they first enter high school, and they're so like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and seeing the way that they develop as people and grow into who they really are as they get older. I teach a lot of them in grade 11 as well, and then with capstone in grade 12, and just getting to see how they develop into these young adults with passions, and they're mature, and again, just really great people.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, good morning. My name is Miss McKenna.
Hi. And what is something you wish you knew as a graduate but didn't learn until later in life?
I think one of the things I learned is that marks aren't everything. I remember back when I was in high school, I always thought, oh, I needed to get top marks and everything. But you know what? Afterwards, after you graduate, marks really aren't worth that much. It's really what you learn, you know, the relationships that you build, and you know, you learn a lot more elsewhere. And it's so important to also just take some time off from studying to travel, to explore, and to find out more about yourself.
Nice. And is there any advice you want to give into post-secondary Is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary in life?
I think students need to know that sometimes things will not work out the way they want it to, and sometimes they might fail, or maybe one door will close. But they should really try to have a positive attitude, because sometimes if things don't work out the way they want it to, other opportunities will arise. So I think having a positive mindset is really, really important.
Nice. And lastly, what is the highlight from teaching senior grades?
I think my highlight is seeing the students grow up from when they're really young, grade 8 and grade 9, and seeing them mature and develop. And it just brings me so much joy seeing them just learn more about themselves and become mature and then graduate and become an adult.
Good. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what advice would you give to your grade 12 students that they could use in their post-secondary life?
Okay, the thing that I learned when I was going to post-secondary is that it's really hard to decide what you're going to do for a career. And when you get to school, you become aware of all the different things that are available. So explore different options, take different courses that you would normally have taken, because you never know where those things may lead in the future.
Hello, I'm Ms. Miller.
What do you teach?
I teach junior math and senior chemistry here.
Nice. And is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind the students that you are each a unique and valuable person with your own gifts. You have your own unique DNA, you have your own experiences. Don't ever forget how worthy you are and how capable you are. And I know that you will do amazing things in the future. I'm very excited for you to contribute to the world.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much too.
Hello, I'm here with
Madame Roscommia.
Hi. What is something you wish you knew when you were a student but didn't get to know until later on in life?
What I would say about that is, so usually when you graduate, or many students when they graduate, they have specific plans and things they would like to do. And so I wasn't really aware that, or to what extent plans can change. And sometimes things just happen, and then your life takes a different turn, and that of course will also affect your job, so and your education. So I think it's very important to be open and be flexible. I think that's really important, and just enjoy as you go.
Yeah, so you don't need to know exactly what you need to do, and just stay open-minded to new possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also really important to take joy in continuous learning, because after all, I mean, learning new things and just learning makes life more enjoyable and interesting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Mr. Wilson.
And what do you teach?
I teach drama.
Yes. And how is it teaching grade 8 different from teaching grade 11s and 12s?
I'd say that in grade 8, kids come in with a lot of energy and kind of eyes wide open, and they're not as self-conscious as you might expect. But then going to grade 9 or 10, somebody quite self-conscious sometimes. And then by the time we get to 11 and 12, they're back to not caring so much what people think. So it's this interesting so up here and they go, and they go back up again. So.
And is there any advice you want to give going into post-secondary life?
Yes. My advice would be to go away. Get out. Go travel. Don't get stuck just thinking you need to complete your 4 years of college or university, or just try and find some time to leave the country. Get a work visa somewhere. It will change your life, and it will change you.
Nice. And did you know what profession you aspired to pursue as soon as you graduated?
No. I would say that I just kind of kept my options open, and then as I was in university, it became clear what I wanted to pursue.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, who am I here with?
Miss Yao.
And what do you teach?
I teach home economics.
And what would you like to say to graduates?
Goodbye. It was a long time, 5 whole years. I've known you since you were this tall, or this tall, or you were always this tall. I don't know. But I am grateful to have you as my first grade 8 class that I've ever taught in my life. I will miss you. I know all your last names. I'm sorry I wasn't at valedictory. I could have pronounced all your last names correctly. And I will see you at your grad and take lots of pictures with you. So all the best to you, and come visit when you can. I'm here forever.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Mrs. Lundy.
And I'm Miss Brody. I miss you.
Thank you. And what do you do around the school?
We help run the school.
We work in the office, yeah. We're at the
Oh, thank you. Do you have any advice to the grade 12s?
Well, I'm going to say good luck on all your future adventures.
And make sure you come back to visit to tell us all about it. But not during class time. Congratulations!
Hi, what's your name?
Brady.
And what grade are you?
I'm grade 12, class of 2024.
And what was any last words that you have as a graduate?
I would just say, for all the people that are still at McRoberts, do your best, work hardest, make sure everyone feels included, and let's go win some stuff, strikers.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.